What's up, YouTube? We're back for another video. I figure I'm doing the work, might as well record it. Maybe it would help somebody out there, because from my Googling and my Facebooking of different Facebook pages, can't really find exactly what I'm doing. And what I'm doing today is I'm tucking my wiring harness. Normally on an S13, at your footwell, you have a harness that goes through the firewall, over the wheel, across the core support where the front end is, and then down the other side. I'm taking the piece that goes across the core support and I'm shrinking it. So I'm taking one fuse box, another fuse box, pretty well putting them beside each other, and they will go underneath my dash. In order to do that, you have to cut your harness in half and connect about 60 wires back together. So I'll show you what I'm doing. It's not for the faint of heart. This is tedious. Wow, look at this. So what I'm doing here is going above and beyond, but I'm determined to have no wires on my engine bay. So this is the chassis harness. This, goes out your footwell, goes across to your core support over there. Fuse box here, fuse box over there. When you do big boy tubs, you don't really want to put a fuse box there and hang a fuse box right there, right? It kind of looks ugly and unneeded, in my opinion. So what I've done is, like I said, this is right here for reference. This goes through the firewall. This will be over your wheel. This right here would be right here in this area, right? This is a fuse box, relay box actually. And then right here would be your core support. And obviously something's changed, right? I cut out that much wire from here. Before I did that, as I did that, I took a couple hours in the day and I labeled every single wire that goes together, because there are a couple wires that are kind of the same. I found there's about 6 orange wires. They're really hard to tell apart. And then there's a couple of red wires that are really hard to tell apart too, a couple greens. So it's best that I labeled it. So what I'm doing is, just to explain myself, I would take a wire from over here, that's, number 5 or number 6. I'll put it over, I built a little jig just to kind of hold things together. I'll put it over here. I'll find the corresponding wire over there. Put them, beside each other. You can really tell. And then cut them, right? Splice the ends, solder them together, put some heat shrink on there. They're good to go. So I'm going to show you a wire or two, and hopefully this helps you. Other than that, I have to plow through this today. It's really only time I have is today, Sunday. So let's get to it. You could be sitting there saying, hey, why don't you just crimp it? They make these awesome soldered crimps. You have to think about how thick your harness is going to be. If you use a bunch of these, it's going to be like a huge ball where you join everything, and it's too short of a distance to space everything out. So I'm telling you, boys, take the time, solder, heat shrink. Don't forget, put the heat shrink on first before you solder. That's key. All these wires kind of have to be the same length. Anyway, enough lollygagging. Let's show you how to put some of these together. All right, I apologize for the angle, but I just want you to see what exactly I'm doing, okay? I'm trying to be really informative so you don't screw up. Like I said, there's nothing on Google on how to modify your chassis harness of your 34-year-old car. So what I have here is, hopefully it's not backwards, 7 and 7, right? These are the same wire. So what I'm doing is I take them together, kind of put them in between my jig here. I'm trying to find, see these wires right here? I'm trying to find a good spot to splice. So with them beside each other, take your scissors, these old guys here, you can just cut them equally, okay? Splice your end here. You want to replicate the exact same size. I went to Amazon and I bought a huge pack of adhesive shrink wrap. Multiple sizes because there's multiple size wires. Cut it in half. Put her through here. Still the same. So I'm gonna grab my gun from the 60s. This old unit. Old Weller I got, eh? What I normally do is I put a big dab on here, you know, heat it up, stacking some dimes. So I got some there. Put that off to the side. I'm just gonna grab my wires now and kind of get them to go together. Now you don't want any frayed ends. You just want a nice even joint. I don't know if this is the right way, but it passes my test of the tug test. So I'll just heat the gun back up. And that solder I melted on the tip previous. We'll now solder these together. Come on. Be really delicate. Okay, that's together. It's one baby. Tug on it, she ain't going nowhere. Slide the solder over it. Bust out the joint sparking device and melt it together. Simple. Oh, this is mind-numbing stuff. So tedious. There we go. I'll show you. So these are stuck together now. The thing with dropping the solder from the top is I find it works its way into the strands and just gives you a really good connection. And like I said before, look how skinny this is compared to putting a big bulky crimp fitting on here. This is the easier way, but if you want it to look proper and not come apart, solder it. So at this point, the video is already like 8 minutes long. So I'm going to cut the video here, but from this point out on my own, I'm going to get these together. The next step to this process is throwing it in the car roughly and mapping out where I have to extend stuff. So don't forget, headlights, turn signals, running lights, horn is all on here. So when this gets mounted behind the dash, you have to extend wires. So the next video, we will focus on mounting, putting this where the glove box is, making the plate, and extending the wires. I don't want to make this too long. I don't want to drag it on. I don't want to bore you. I want to get you introduced into even starting this process, and then we'll finish it together. So I hope the first part of this series maybe made you think to do this, or maybe you're doing it already and this changed the direction you're going to go. I just hope this video helped you. I hope that I didn't leave anything out. That's the worst thing is, oh, how to do this, and you click the video and it's like the stuff you need to know isn't there. That's why I got you. I try to make it as simple as possible. So for the time being, I'm gonna get back to work here, get all these put together, and we'll get working on the next video. Stay tuned for the next one. I know I say this a lot, but I think I need to just come back to YouTube. I miss doing this kind of stuff. Peace out, guys. Please give a thumbs up, a sub, or a share. See ya.